If you are buying ephemera for all of your projects, you can stop now because I'm going to show you today 30 plus ways to make your own. Yes, 30 plus. And I could have kept going, but I thought I better stop and get this video done. So these are easy ways to make inexpensive. They're very simple. And honestly, they're a lot of times better than what you might buy at the store because you're getting exactly what you want. So to prove my point, I just wanted to show you, this is, if you've watched my reorganization videos, Calming the Chaos, the resets on my organizing playlist, you probably saw that I did these new bins. These are entirely all words. And you can see, like, I've got stacks of these stickers that I've bought and these little phrases and these little guys. I've got, you know, things that I'm trying to look for some, you know, like these big words. I mean, it's full. It's full of it. Now, some of these I've already made, and that's where some of our ideas are going to come from. For example, I once bought this entire stack of the dictionary, and it was broke into these little stacks by, I think, a couple of letters a piece, and they're all definitions. Well, why? When all I needed was to grab my dictionary and cut out the word that I wanted. So you kind of get my gist, you know? And not only that, but in my opinion, when I'm going to move this out of the way, in my opinion, when I'm making ephemera, it's those, and it doesn't have to be a sentiment. It might be a label. It might be, you know, a sticker or something like that. But it's those little details that I think just bring your ephemera and your journals to life. So if this interests you, please stick around. My name is Angela, and I am also known as the Traveling Crafter. And today we are just going to play. I had, as you can see on this scratch piece of paper, I started thinking about how to use these, and I came up with 25 ideas. And then I grabbed out my whole bin of all of my words, and I came up with 5 more. And truthfully, I think there's probably more than that, but we're just going to stick with 30. And if you get some bonuses, good on all of us, right? So let me start by talking about the very easiest one. And all you're going to need is a pen and a piece of paper. So pieces of paper. By the way, I've got a whole stack of what I call substrates, which is just what I might put things on. But to be honest, and for all of you who are new here, or if you're new to journaling, this is definitely for you. For all of you who have been around a while that are, you know, pros at all this, please, I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have other ideas. I love to learn new things I haven't thought of before, and I'm sure everybody else would as well. So, everybody read the comments, because I'm sure we've got a lot of talented people out there, and I'm sure that they've got some really awesome ideas as well. This is just what I came up with in the short time I had to kind of plan the video. But one of the things that I love best is printing some of my digitals on black cardstock with using white ink, or, you know, black background with white ink. Like here's one from this is from a prompt from a retreat that I did. So it just says my most embarrassing moment, but I love the look of that. Well, it's really easy just to make your own. And I'm going to be doing some more reader, you know, vintage reader journals. So I've been kind of creating a lot of words for that. But even if it was something where you just used, and this is just a chalk marker, if you just kind of made it all pretty, and imagine this. Oh, I might even have some. I know it's past Christmas. I didn't work on any Christmas this year. Did you guys do Christmas journals, art projects. But there you go. Let's see if I have some. I have a little chunk of red right here. So you could just cut this out. I'll just cut it all the way across. You could leave it just like this. And we are not going to be decorating any of this today. We're just going to be creating the different things. But come back. Probably the next video will be us decorating and creating with it. So, for example, look at how nice that looks just on this. This could even be a tag for your Christmas presents if you wanted. It doesn't have to be in a journal. So, handwriting, very simple, very easy, and it's pretty much free because we usually always have a pen and a piece of paper, right? Maybe we want to do some really small words and we want to make them almost like, let's make sure this works here. And I think it does. And we just want to play with fonts. Now, if you struggle with finding a font or you say, oh my gosh, my handwriting is horrible, I can't do that. I suggest Googling it, looking at just Google fonts, or you could simply go to probably Pinterest. You could look at different fonts there, or just see what kind of inspiration strikes you for fonts, and then just try to mimic that and just play. The rules are, there's no rules. It's going to be just fine. But there's a tiny little word that you can use in your journals, almost or always free. You can always find a scratch piece of paper and probably a pencil, a pen, a marker, whatever you got. So that's the really basic place to start. I'm telling you right now. I do have to say, if you are noticing something a little bit different on the screen here, I have 2 videos coming up in the future that are the last 2 of the Craft Room Reset before my 2026 annual Craft Room Tour. And I said, I can't do this without some new lighting. And so Dave put up new lights for me, and I am thrilled. But man, it's like, I think I might get a sunburn in here, but that's okay. I'm not complaining because it helps a ton for me to actually see. Let's talk a little bit about, so there was the easiest way, and I'm going to, find your words, Angela. I'm going to save my favorite for last. So, bear with me. You'll want to stick around till the end. The other thing is that really think about what you can print on. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But before we do that, and if this isn't something that you're technically, I got to glue this on here because it's going to drive me crazy. It will slide all over and then I'll be like, what was I going to do with that? If technology is not your friend and you don't want to do that, you know, consider grabbing a digital, whether you buy one. I know that that's not the most economical, but generally the content creators that are creating digitals like myself sell them very inexpensively. And a lot of my friends, including myself, on my Ko-fi or on the Maker's Market, they sell them, my goodness. Do you know why I'm having a problem? It's past 5 o'clock. I never do videos past 5 o'clock. They give away freebies. So check those out. That's a great way. But if technology is your friend, you can always create your own like I do. And a lot of times when I'm working on a project, I will come up with words or phrases, and then I will put them in a digital and I will put them on the Maker's Market. That's district.net/the Maker's Market and or Ko-fi. And both of those links are in the description, so you can hop on over there and grab all of those freebies. So that you can use them too, because I need them for a certain project. You know, a lot of times they're not absolutely perfect. And so I just pop them in my shop for free and you can grab them like these. So I have printed on just regular weight printer paper, but I had some different colors. I just used what I had in my office. And these are all for an equestrian Ralph Lauren inspired journal that I'm working on. I don't know why I printed them on pink, but you know. And then I printed them on white as well. But for these, I then took some, I think I used ground espresso on this. I sprayed these with some with some coffee spray. And then I also used some Tim Holtz tea. I think I used tea stain or whatever it's called. And added a little bit to it. But let me just show you how cute these look when they're cut out. So I'm just going to put these all with my, I love this one, Ride with Grace. Any equestrians out there? Did any of you ride, show, do trail rides? I did all of the above, and I love it. Whoa, something just go out? It seemed like it got dark. If I could have another horse, now we live in the city, not on our acreage, which our acreage before was all timber, so having a horse would not have been something we could have done. But you can betcha if we move to another acreage that I will be working real hard to get a horse again. But I'm excited. I have been meaning to do these journals for a long time, and I think it's time I at least do one. But look how cute that is. Now, what I often tell people is I used to, when I was maybe just first starting out, I would print all of my words and such on cardstock, which I did that in some of these. But what I found is these are more versatile because I can then put this right on a piece of chipboard, or I can put it on, like this is just craft card. And I have more flexibility and I can do a lot more with it when it's just on a plain piece of paper. So I don't know why I didn't always do that. I don't know, friends. I just don't know. And we're going to make this so close to the edge there that it's just barely got a little lip. And now, and I'm going to do this without using my trimmer, so here we go. Get ready to be entertained, because I'm sure it won't be straight. Never is. And then you can just do your, what happened to my, there it is. You can just do some inking if you want. And I do, when I make my sentiments, I do like to ink everything up. I think it just looks nice. And I've got all of these. I know you can't probably see them, but I've got some inks over here because we will be using them later that I was using. So these are my Close to My Heart. I've got some others that we'll use. And I do have this Distress Oxide peeled paint that I used as well. I have to apologize if I'm sniffing, coughing. I refuse to say I'm getting sick. I'm not. But I am stuffy, and I don't know if it's just the change in the weather or what. But so there you go. Put a little eyelid in there, or put two of them in there. Little brad, some rusty bit goodness, and pop it into your ephemera or your page. So there's those, and these are all the ones that I did for that project. These are for my reader projects, so I just printed the same thing. But on this one, I decided to take those inks like I showed you, and I just randomly decided to do some in a variety of colors because I thought, well, why not? When I get to those, it'll be fun to see how they look and to be able to pop them on a page. And one thing I wanted to show you on this. So, just cutting this out right here. Is this, there's a lot of real estate here. I don't need all that. So I can, you know, just, sorry, that's the baby. That's the puppy. Finding her spot. And, you know, you could use some of this. I don't even know if there's any ink on this. Not really. But, or you just leave your whole page like white, and when you're ready, just color that one little piece, and you're good to go. So that was for all of those, for the readers. And then I have some art journals coming up, so I did the same thing for those. And I just printed them on, you know, regular paper, and then I did the same and printed them on, this is heavier cardstock. So if you want something that you're maybe going to turn into a charm or a dangle, and it needs to be a little thicker, then you've got those as well. So that's something you can do, or, you know, just peruse all of the, you know, Etsy and Ko-fi and all of your favorite channels that you watch, and definitely go check out mine. I've got lots of freebies for you. And grab some if you don't want to create them on your own. So I love to come up with different phrases and things like that. So I just think it's a lot of fun. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you when we're talking about printing different things, I love to print on just, you know, your regular cardstock, but I also love to use craft paper. So don't forget that. And the other thing that I love to print on, and it's very easy to do, is old book page or even music. So, you know, you kind of have to compare and contrast. I don't have any with me right now. My printer was acting up a little bit, so I didn't want to get crazy, because the other thing I do love to print on is vellum. And today when I tried it, my printer was not having it. But this really is fun to print on. And since I didn't have the ability to actually print on it, we're going to just use some stamps, because stamps is one of the things that are really easy to do. And I will tell you, I just pulled out a bunch of stamps that were word related. But where did they go? Oh, right here. If you want to make an investment on alphabets, and so you don't want to be constricted by, you know, buying wooden stamps with the word on it, or buying like the stamps like this. These were all in a kit. If you don't want to do that, this may be your ticket. And it's called, this system is called PEGS, P-E-G-Z. It is, if you click, I have it right in the description. You don't have to go to my store. You can just click right on the link. It is part of my Amazon affiliate. But this is, these have been a game changer for me. I actually found some at an estate sale once, and I sold them at my live sale. So if you're looking for cool craft supplies, pop in on Tuesday nights, except the first, every Tuesday except the first Tuesday of the month, and come and see us, and see if you can find some fun things to buy. But it's been a while since I've had those pegs in there. They sold right away. And if you can't find them there, they are, just click on that link. And it is a little bit of an investment, but the one that I linked, because I think I bought the uppercase by itself, and then I ended up getting the other one. Maybe I bought it all together. But yes, you can buy the single, so you can just buy lowercase, or you can just buy uppercase, or you can just buy the symbols. But I think in the long run, it's a lot cheaper if you buy the whole kit. A little more of an investment, but it'd be something good to ask for a birthday or Christmas or Valentine's Day. That'll be coming up before we know it. So there you go. There's one that just says sunshine. This one, it says sunshine is the best medicine. And this was just in a, oh, I think I got it from like a magazine kit. You remember the ones that they sold at Joann's? I don't remember what they were called. What's this one say? Let your dreams bloom and grow. Let's just use this. And I'll just see. I feel like I'm losing my voice. Not getting sick, am I? Right? I'm healthy as a horse. Speaking of horses, right? The other thing I want to share with you is I found, again, at a crafter's estate sale, these, I didn't know what they were, and they came in a box lot with a bunch of other things, and they're called, correct me if I'm wrong, those who use these a lot, called rock-a-blocks, and they're basically the acrylic blocks. I think they're not acrylic, I think they're plastic, but they're kind of curved like this, so when you stamp your image, you kind of are, you're rolling it, to make it easy to understand. I guess that's the easiest way. And the image, it's like night and day as opposed to these flat ones. So just note. Let's just do a black one. I am using my StazOn ink. StazOn, I believe that is also in my shop. You know what? I will double check and make sure it is. But StazOn is my favorite because it's the ink that I can print on, or I can stamp on pretty much everything, and it doesn't smudge and smear, so it's like a automatically permanent kind of ink. And if you get water on it, it's not going to smudge it, as opposed to Distress Oxide and my close to my heart inks do pretty well, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, and I do know that these work really well. And I did grab a couple. I had some that, again, came from probably an estate sale or something of the sort by Memento. And then I had a blue one that, I want to use a brown one for this. This is one of my favorites, and I forgot I even had it. We'll just do one more, and then we'll move on. So yes, I'm excited. I was excited to do this mostly because a lot of these projects we've done in the past, like maybe just a one-off video. But I thought it would be nice when I was digging in there to actually show you some of the things that work to make it easy. Now, listen, I'm not pulling any shade. Oops, I rocked it. I shouldn't have done that. Oops. If you love buying ephemera, keep buying ephemera. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I buy it all the time. But I do really now think about it a lot, because do I really need to? And the answer is probably not. All I need to do is sit down and do a sesh like we're doing right here, and probably save myself hundreds of dollars in the long run. But there's something to be said about that. Getting that little package of ephemera. And one of the reasons I'm saying this to you is because you will see a haul in the future with a lot of items that I purchased. I usually do one purchase of 2026 of kind of a restock of scrapbook paper and ephemera that I use often. And so I did that again. But look how cute this is. And so it says sunshine. You can put it down. I mean, on the dark, it doesn't look as good. But you can back it on, let's say, I thought I had some. Here's some paper. Maybe this will work. That doesn't look so good. Give me your feedback on the lighting. I pray to God it's okay, because Dave spent a lot of time doing it. You know what I mean? And they're all making fun of me because they think extremely bright in here. And it is. But hey, these old eyes need... Oh, look how pretty that is. I love it. All right, we'll put these all over there because we're going to do stuff with them in the future. Now, while we're doing that, we may as well... Let's just get out a piece here. And I will show you how these little cutie patooties work. So... I guess we'll go this way. Let's move all this out of the way because on the next video, we'll come back and put things together. So what I'll do is I'll pre-cut some of these things so we can just then decorate them. All right, so here are 3 words that I just put together. Love in all caps, read, and cat. And here's how they work. So you pick out decide what word you want to make. I wanted the C to be a capital and then my lowercase a and T. And so you're just going to find your letters and you're going to pull them out from what you got here. And believe it or not, I actually let my OCD brain go crazy and I do not have these. I was putting them back in order every time I used them. I was like, come on, Angela. Am I making more work for myself? Yes, you are. So you don't need to do it, but they're all together. So all you do is they click together like this. And then let's just say you wanted maybe all 3 of these to be punched, printed together. I don't know. I've never tried that. Like cat, read, and love. We're just going to do it I don't know what's going to happen. One thing I would suggest is that I didn't have for some of those others, which is probably a good idea. If you've got something cushiony, it can be styrofoam. It can be really anything you've got that has some give to it. This is just a bunch of foam that I just glued together. Put that underneath your stamping because that cushion helps to get a better transfer of it. All right, so let's just try the Star Spangled. Actually, no, I want to try this Memento one because it's fresh. Danube Blue. I just pulled the tape off of it before I turned on the camera. And we're going to try this. Maybe I have done like 2 words, but I don't know. Let's see what happens when we do this. I have to go a little bit at an angle. Hope you can see all this okay. Oh, that saves you some time. Now I have 3 words already. Or, of course, you can take them apart. I love that color, too. And, do it like that. There's just so many things you can do with these. I love these. Here, let me wipe these off before I... So you can print onto old scrapbook paper. That's a great idea if you've never done that. Oh, I don't want to throw these out or put these away because I'm going to be using them in a minute for something else. Okay. So there's another way you can use it. Let's try something. One of my favorite... Let's go through some of these and see what we're going to be working with here. Okay, here's some that I just wrote on craft card with that chalk marker. Very simple. Nothing fancy at all. This was the printed ones that I did. This was for that retreat. Oh, there's another word. These, if you have a typewriter, pull it out and start playing. This one says, I don't make mistakes. I create unexpected design elements. Amen, friends. Remember, there's no rules. These are some of the ones that were printed from those that I created that I just told you about a little bit earlier. We'll look at those. And we're going to do something with these in just a second. And that. We got all of these ribbons. These are all textiles that we're going to be using. This is out of a magazine, and I am a seeker of everyday magic. So we'll grab some of those. There's more typing. You can see I goofed. I'm one unfinished project away from being featured on a crafting reality show. Magazine again. This is magazines as well. So we got lots of things that we can play with, right? And like I said, I need to make sure as I'm looking at this that I'm going through and telling you all 30 of them. I know I'm kind of all over the place because I'm just grabbing as I'm going, but stick with me. My favorite one's coming up. Let's work on, we're going to actually use fabric next. But what I wanted to do is try this with some of these. This is just a page protector. See, I think this is going to be a huge glare. And I guess it glared before, so you can't really get around that when you've got this kind of stuff up there. But I think this would be really fun. Hear me out. To just, I'm going to see if that actually stays on there. To almost do like a collage of, and we should try this. Maybe we'll do that on when we come back. And I'll pre-stamp this with just a bunch of words and things like that. And then I think it would be fun to put either a piece of wallpaper in between here or, nope, see that one? Didn't like that. Okay, good to know the memento didn't work on that. Let's try it with the stays on. Oh, maybe it doesn't work on this. And then take it to the sewing machine and just sew all around each of the words and then cut them out. Oh, I think that would be so fun. Tedious, but fun. Okay, let's try this. This is the stays on. Come on, don't fail me now. All right, we'll see if it actually works. I'm going to give it a minute. For some reason, I feel like I once watched somebody who tried that with stays on and it didn't work. If you use stays on a lot, tell me. Do you guys know? I know that I don't think that this one will. Yeah, it's water-based. It'll come right off. Let's see if this one does. Oh, it worked. I probably should have let it sit a little bit longer because I did smudge it a bit, but it's on there. So stays on works. Ta-da. All right, that's an easy one. Let's now work on some fabrics, on some textiles. So I just pulled a bunch from my scraps. I thought I had some, I thought I had some other ribbon, but I guess I don't. But these are all from, this is from, that's seam binding. This is bias tape. It's a great use of your bias tape. And you could stamp, like, I'll show you in a second, and then take it to your sewing machine and sew down the center. These that you're going to see next. So these were all stamped with Stampin' Ink. And like I said, if your technology, it doesn't float your boat, you don't have to. But all of these, I have a digital on Ko-fi, and I printed all of them out. These big ones, so I printed them on the actual fabric. And if you guys want to know more about how you do that, I can explain it to you. So I did a bunch of flannel, upcycled flannel. You've probably seen them. You know, some of them are like bleached on the bottom. And then I sewed all the way around these. And I did a whole set. We had a huge group that went to see Eric Church. So I used lines from his songs and put them on the back in the middle. And then I did some extras. Used to sell these in my, in our mercantile. And this one was just a whole page I did on this fabric. And then this one is another, as you see, this one's on, I don't need to leave it on there. This was on a shirt too. Very appropriate for me. So I just had them all in with the words. But if you don't have a printer that will do that, my new printer does not. It does not work that well on that. I need my old one. Then just consider these pegs or whatever you've got at home and try them out. Here's a piece of, this is a piece of vintage gingham. So we're going to try it out and see how it works. I feel like we need the word love on here because I was just going to say Halloween. Not Halloween. Valentine's Day is coming up. This is, again, this stays on. And I mean, this is tiny, so consider. I just like the way that. Yeah, see, look how cute that is. That makes me happy. Let's do another one. And on this, I like that the line went around it. Do you see that? I hope you can see okay. Maybe I need to move you guys down a little bit. Let me check it out. Yeah, I like that a lot. Better. All right. So there's with that. Let's see. Let's just try. Let's try doing those. Maybe we'll just use green on both of these and see what happens. We'll just do them all together. We should probably, well, let's not do it on that. We should probably try the memento on the fabric and see if it works. It says it's fade-resistant dye, and it says it's not water soluble. I don't know. I guess, I don't know if I've used memento. I feel like I have some kind of, not glitter, but iridescent inks by Memento, but I could be wrong. All right, let's just put that right here. Let it kind of sit for a second. Cute. All right, let's cut it out so we can see what these look like. Sorry, I have to get up here a little bit closer when I'm... And, you know, we could have maybe made these a little bit wider because these would be fun to sew on. Let's see, I guess we'll just split it down the middle. I'll just use that one. And not really even Steven or anything, but it's cute. Okay, I want to get through the substrates because I want to move on. I want to make sure that we get to the fun stuff. So I'll cut these off here and we'll use those for next time as well. And that can go in with my scraps. Okay. The other one I was going to work on was this one. Let's try just to see how it does on this. Oh, we got that too. But we're not going to mess with that right now. Let me throw that in there. Okay. Let's just use Reed. And let's just do it in black. And I'll try it with this Memento as well. Because whoa, I just pulled those apart. I think this would be cool. Hear me out. If you just did this all the way across. And now, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to tell me. What would you use this for? Like, there's your whole row right there. I don't want to influence you. You tell me how you guys would use it. We are going to use it on our next video. And maybe you guys will leave me a comment and you'll have some more ideas and we'll have more things to try. Let's try this with the... Oh, is this stays on? Yeah. Let's try it with this Memento. How about blue? Blue? Yeah. And should we do more Reed? Why not? Let me make sure that's off. Okay, let's try the blue. And let's do it. Let's give it some room. Oh, I like that. Oh, this would be cool to write the word flag. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Oh, I can't speak. Can't articulate. Oh, I love it. I got a little close on that one, but this is cool. What do you guys think? Do you like that? What would you do? How would you use it? Because I've got some ideas. Okay, we're going to put that on for to be continued on our next video. There we go. All right, and let's just try a couple both on the seam binding. Oh, that's got a sticky, something sticky. Probably tape from the packaging. We'll just try cat. And let's try this green one. And here's one I did on this, really, it's kind of almost like flocked ribbon. But I thought that was kind of fun. That I did a long time ago. Long time ago. The day the music died. That's coming up. Bye, bye, Miss America, bye. You know, there's the whole, if you've ever listened to that song, who the heck sings it? Anywho's, I'm not even going to try to guess, because I'm terrible at that. Each one of them is like Elton John and Buddy Holly, and in February, the Winter Dance Party happens in Clear Lake, Iowa. And that's where our vacation rental is. And they have a huge, huge weekend. It brings in tens of thousands of people every winter in February. And that's coming up, not too far away. Fun times. Okay, let's see. I should have put more words together, but I didn't. We're going to use that on this one on here, too. I'm just going to do one. Well, no, we'll just go all the way across here. Read, read, read. I need to look and see how many books I read in 2025. I do not know. I know it's a lot. How many of you guys like to read? All right, we'll do something with that next time, too. All right. Oh, one other thing. I found this little piece of tape. And this is like vintage. I don't know. It looks like... That doesn't look like I can probably... I'm not going to print on that one. But I thought it would be cool to try. To print or to ink on this. Because I've never tried it, I don't think. I mean, this is some old masking tape. That didn't go so well. That's a little bit better. It's fine. Okay, let's get on to the fun stuff. More fun stuff. More fun stuff. Okay. I think, are we done with... I think we're done with stamps for right now. So I'm going to put these back. Sorry for the reach. I'm going to move all this back out of the way just to give me a little more space. And I'm going to flip through here real quick and see if there's anything else that I missed. This is some dyed paper. I think this is from Create with Angela on the Maker's Market. And that's just scraps. Oh, this is paper sack. I think that would be awesome to print your words on. We'll be using some of this for some other things. This is a gray file folder. Is there anything else? Oh, this is one of my... You guys know, if you've been around a while, you know I love using this. This is old. I salvaged, like, there were all these old cards on this scrapbook page. Vintage or maybe antique scrapbook page. But I like to use those, too, because they also rip really well. Like, crunchy, and you can just use a little word. These are the fly pages of books. And then, again, I had more of the vellum. And then I do like to use, I think this really makes fun sentiments, too. And that is grid paper. And then lastly, I do want to show you this. We've done this before, so if you've been around for a long time, you know. These are Avery labels, and I used them, I think I used these when I was making, I don't know these particular ones, but when I used to make my body oils and beard oil and things like that, I would use these labels sometimes. Not these particular ones, but what I like to do is stamp on these as well. But what I, just like the ones that I printed out, I do the same thing. I just, and I haven't added any ink to these, and so they're probably dry, but I just kind of add, you can spray these with coffee as well. That works. You can use ink. You can use distress sprays if you have that. You can watercolor on them. Just know, depending on what you use, you know, sometimes you're not going to get the same effect, or it will lose its stick. Not a big deal. But we're going to come back to these in a few minutes. So that's just an idea. And now let's just look at a couple of other things. I think I did one. Yes. So here's one I did using, this is actually from an old Close to My Heart catalog. So like even cutting that out and putting it on a page would be cute. But these were just some sentiments, and they were in that bin. So there's that one. And then, for example, this would be fun to use some of these letters like I did. I think I did one. I don't know. We're just going to make one. Let's just say, how about play? Can we make that? Now, I know these are old, so we might have to, yeah. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make life easy. And I'm just going to go like that. I don't know what will happen. There we go. But you could put this on a ticket. You could put it on just a plain piece of scrapbook paper. And you could do that. I don't use a lot of, how many of you guys use a lot of your letter stickers? I don't, but I have tons of them that I acquired from that same estate auction, the Crafters estate, or estate sale. And they were in all together in one big batch. So I have a lot. I've sold a lot, but I still have some. And I think it's a great use of these. And, you know, this would be a great travel craft. Like, just stick a bunch of your, I don't know about you guys. I had tons of these when I was scrapbooking. Stick them in your travel bag and a sheet of these Avery stickers and just create all day. And, you know, then you can just leave it on here. You can do the whole page, or you could take this up and you could make a shape out of it. You could just stick it onto something, or you can just have them ready to go. So there's another way to use those. Here's one that I did from that. I knew I had one. And then here's another one that I think came from, yeah, down here I cut this apart. But, you know, all of these little things, here's a great example. All of the planner stickers, I don't use planner stickers, and I never have. So using them for this, brilliant. Use them up, right? Okay, now the next thing I'm going to show you is probably my most favorite, and it just continues to get more exciting as we go, I think. If you don't think so, please don't tell me, because I'm having a ball. Okay, the first thing what we're going to do is we are going to we're going to replicate this just a little bit. And 2 more ideas. So let me grab them from my stack here. I'm pretty sure I grabbed them. Oh yes, here they are. Okay. So this is basically similar to what I used, and I just backed it with, or I just used What did I use? Oh, this is just coffee dyed paper, the printed one. But we can also use we'll just use a piece of this scrapbook paper. Oops. I think that would be fun. So what I'm going to do just to make things easier is I'm just going to put this whole thing down on here. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about this, 2 ways to use it, is all of the empty space in between the pattern itself, stamp on it. It works great. If you've never tried it, give it a go. So, for example, all of this, but I like this, I think would make a great, let me see if I can get to another one. I'll put this up here after I'm done, and I'll stamp on it off camera. So where was that looked so cute? It's probably, yeah, we can do it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go like this to make life easier for us. I'm going to rip right here. And you can also, if you don't want to just try to rip it, you can grab some, like a water pen or a watercolor pen, and just do it like we do our napkins, and it will soak in there and tear it easy, but it tears pretty easy. So see, you've got all of this you could be stamping on to make your sentiments. Now, what I would suggest, unless you've got a real safe spot to put things that are delicate, like your tissue, sometimes your vellum, is just back them. Unless you're, you really want to save them for a special project and you don't want to do that until you're ready to use them, then I totally understand that. But let's just see how much we can get on here. Look at that. We can get almost that whole. We're just going to go to town on this. And it's a great way to use this, old scrapbook paper. I always need to reinforce it when I use it on my projects because it is fragile. But it's a great way to play around with it. And I don't know about you. I don't mind the wrinkly bits, but if you don't like those, you can press them all out. I kind of like that because I then can use, here it is, my ink and kind of make it. So see, I could print on all of that. More stuff. I'm not going to, but I could. All right, let's just cut this. Is this glued down? No. I mean, look how many pieces of ephemera we can get out of just this one little wimpy piece of old scrapbook paper. And this, I don't really like how all of that goes, but it's fine. I mean, we could cut it in a million different pieces, but now we've got 2 right there. And yes, I could keep those. I'm not going to. Are you guys, are you throwers away? Do you throw away the little pieces? Do you keep everyone? There's no right or wrong way. It's whatever you prefer. I mean, this craft room is not lacking for scraps of paper, that's for sure. But I had, as I continued, and I'm an ongoing organizer. It's just an important part of who I am, I guess. To me, I like to organize and have things efficient. And I was finding that I was keeping every little tiny bit, which are fun to use. But in my lifetime, am I really going to be able to use all that? Probably not. So I started throwing some away. So look at this. So I mean, you could even cut that off and use it. There's 2 more pieces right there. And then you could do all kinds of things. I won't do it all right now, but it's a great way and easy. I mean, it's probably the number 2 easiest way. Number 1 being handwriting it, right? And number 2, using pages from books. So here's another one. How about, let's say I'm working on a fashion journal and I want to use the word jumpsuit. Oh gosh, there it is. And I bet someone is going to ask me, do you cut all of these out as you're working on a project, or do you cut them out in bulk as you're working? And the answer is both. On projects like this, like if I'm curating and words, Angela, and I am going through a magazine or something like that, then I'll just cut them out and I'll put them in by topic. Or if I've got a book and I want specific things, then I'll do that as well. So even this, like I use these a lot to make pockets, but you could use just this 3 yards, 95 cents. All of these little words you could use individually. So we'll keep that for next time too. I'm just trying to get through all of these because I know we've been going a while. Oh, here's a great example. Let's just say, oh, here's one. Let's see if we can find it in the dictionary. So this is just the one I bought, right? Dictionary Library Series, C to D. So here's the word cart. Now watch, I pick a word that's, and here's my one. I have 1 large and 1 small, this being the small. I do have a tiny, tiny dictionary. That's all I have that I keep on hand for dictionary pages. I used to have 20 of them, and I have since sold all of those, but or given them away. C-A-R, C-A-R. We're almost there. Come on. Here we go. Cart. It's hard to tell if the pages are turning. They're pretty heavy. Oops. Here we go. Right here. How about I do this so it doesn't rip? I don't know how many pages are in here, but 881 plus. But this probably cost me $1, right? And this probably cost me 15. I don't know. 10, 8. I don't know. Not a couple bucks. And here we go. I love it. It's even got, this one says, put the cart before the horse. Love it. I love this better than this. And look, you got it right here. You put it on something. This is an open horse-drawn vehicle, especially one with only 2 wheels used for carrying goods or as a farm vehicle. A light vehicle or barrow pushed by hand. And this one says a small, often 2-wheeled wagon, a small vehicle drawn or pushed by hand to carry in a cart or other vehicle. Put the cart before the horse to do things backwards. There you go. So there is one way. Saves you some money and also is fun. And we'll do some more of those in our next video too. The other one is, this is just old packaging, and I saved these because I was going to make it mini journals, which I still will, but I picked one just to show you that you could just cut this and, use those letters instead of stamping them, and you can have your ephemera, your words, if you will, that way as well. And here's another packaging that this has already been stamped, so you could use those words, just cut it, and you've got your ephemera already made in one. My favorite are, we'll use these later too. I'm not going to go over all of them, but you probably know what I'm going to say. My favorite are using children's books, but here is like, this is a French book. We'll use that in the next video. This one, this cracks me up. It says, they're talking about nuts, different kinds of nuts across the world. It says, come on, boys, let's leave our bags of nuts here. Now we'll hunt hazelnuts. Hazelnuts are my favorite nut. And so I wanted to cut this out, specifically about the peanuts. I think I'm just going to cut this whole part out because I have a popcorn journal, and when I think about popcorn, I think about peanuts and popcorn, so I wanted to use that. But more nuts and peanuts. I thought that would be cute. So you get the idea. And these are just pages that I wasn't going to use in anything, but now I'm going to go through and maybe cut some of these little words out. And what would have otherwise been just left behind, I'm now using. So that makes me very happy. And I'll do all the work on the back end. You guys come back and you can see what we create next time. This specific, I think the other one's Country Living that I really like, for words and fonts. And the other one is The Best of Flea Market and Home and Living. So we'll be taking some words out of that as well. And then my favorite, are readers. Oh, I have a piece of antique. This is from a antique French book, and it's got all of this writing. I don't know if I can cut this one up, but I did want to show it to you. Okay, so this is just a scrap. I found this actually on the floor and was going to throw it away because it must have jumped out of the garbage can. But even this is from one of those Sesame Street books. And even cutting out, like, say you're doing a music journal, this is percussion instruments. And then there's a little word, percussion instruments. And, oh my gosh, a cowbell. We need more cowbell. Who knows what movies that is from. And we'll just keep all of those. And we can use those as well. So the sky is the limit. Now, this is a vintage, I Know a Secret. It was in not great shape. But let me see if I can, I have my handy dandy tough built knife here. And we're just going to cut this one page out. If you don't have antique or vintage readers, I think I may have sold them. If you are interested in a Dick and Jane, these are not the old books, but I always pick them up. I think I may still have a couple of these that I bring to live sales, so let me know. These are always easier for me to cut up than the old readers because, I don't know why I'm so attached to readers, but I am. Probably because I love to read. But all of these, each one, we're just going to go wide, can be your words. I'm just trying to make sure, and then I'll fussy cut those afterwards. But you can use Oh Jane, CC, Oh Dick, Sally can work, or Oh Sally, funny, funny Sally, oh, oh, oh. So all of those can be words that you can make a dangle out of. You can, all of these fun things. Let's just find. Look, Nancy, look at your hat. Where is it going? I think this is really cute. I hate cutting it up. Let's see. And we'll just go here. Where's my doll? There's one word, or one that we can use. You could even use Nancy said and Oh Mother. You can use that all together. This you could use Where's my doll? I will help you. All of these, they're just fantastic. So days and days. And so when you are, like, for example, if you're working in a reader, which one do we like better? This one's kind of cute. If you're working in any kind of children's book, any book at all, and you've got pages that you might, you know, be thinking, well, I'm not going to use these, I might as well ditch them. Maybe just loosely go through them and, you know, find some words. I love, one thing I didn't talk about and we didn't do, is creating sentences from single words. So if that's something that you like to do, that would be fun. In fact, we can maybe do that on the next video. You tell me. I want to hear your ideas. I'm excited because I'm excited to learn new things, and hopefully we will have time for all that. And I'm just going to set this aside. But so now all the words are gone, the pictures are gone, and we're good to go. We've used every piece of that paper. This one, final one before we go. I think this is really awesome. So let me just find a page that... I'm trying to find one where... Because this was written in, I thought. Oh, yeah, here we go. I think this would be awesome to cut. I'll just use this page. Now, these are going to have to be backed. But where they've handwritten these, and, you know, maybe you use all of this or just, or place them on like a tag, wood. Isn't that cool? So we're going to use that next time as well. But I think, let me see if I've missed anything. I managed to get all of those on there. Henry book page, encyclopedia. We talked about music, but I didn't have any. The typewriter. Oh, one last one. A Dymo. The hand, you know, I didn't whip that out, but I thought I had a, maybe I didn't get any of those out. The Dymo labeler where you turn the dial and you make the words. Another great way to create sentiment ephemera. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today. And if this help spark maybe some ideas, or if you think it's going to save you some money in the long run, I would love for you to type in the comments the word play, because that's really what we did today. And when we come back, we're going to play even more. Now, if you have ideas or questions, you can add that too. But if you learned something new today, if it sparked some inspiration, or if it helps me and you've created some, thought of some ideas while you're watching, I would love to hear from you. So just type in the word play and join me next time on another episode of playing and creating ephemera in an inexpensively and the fun way. I hope you enjoyed today. Until next time, friends, as always, remember to take some time for you to just be. We'll see you soon. Cheers.